Hi, my name is Samantha Porter, and I am an archaeologist. So I'm going to go through one day in the life of a digital archaeologist. Archaeologists can work a lot of different places. I happen to work at the University of Minnesota. While archaeology is my specialty, it's not the only thing I do. So right now, I run a lab called the Advanced Imaging Service for Objects and Spaces, or AISOS, and we actually help anyone at the University of Minnesota do stuff with digital imaging. That can range from sort of high-resolution images to 3D scanning to 3D tours to even making virtual and augmented reality apps. One thing I actually really love about my job is the fact that I get to work with people from all over the place, right? Doing things from art to sort of more hard traditional science. So most of the time, archaeologists are not sort of in the field, kind of excavating things. Most of the time, if we work at a university, we're actually back in the lab, teaching, doing stuff like that. So this is kind of what a typical day for me looks like, running our imaging lab. So this day I actually had to get up really early for me, around 6:30, because I was attending through Zoom a virtual conference that was on European time. So I managed to catch their last sessions of the day around 7 a.m. After the conference, it was time to go into the office at the U of M, so I hopped on the light rail. Once I got in, I spent a little bit of time checking emails and responding to messages in the lab. Next, I headed to the art department to pick up some custom laser cut calibration plates. These are things that sort of help our 3D scanners run and tell the 3D scanners how large the stuff they're scanning is. Now, the old calibration plates had broken. We couldn't buy new ones. So thanks to some help from Robin Schwartzman in the art department, I was able to design some replacements. It's fun because we get to do crafts and DIY in order to do our fancy science. Next, I got to work on those calibration panels a little bit more, so I went out back, grabbed some spray paint, and filled things in. After filling that in, I got to do the super satisfying task of peeling off the backing paper, revealing the calibration pattern underneath. Here's me testing out those new calibration panels, and drum roll, they work! I maybe got a little too excited about the calibration panels, so I ate a late lunch, which is a beautiful frozen burrito. So while eating this burrito, I had a check-in meeting with my boss, Alicia. We do this every 2 weeks just to check in, see how things are going, and make sure everything's going smoothly. We also sometimes just chat about cats. Go cats. So next I worked on processing some really high resolution images of ticks. Now this is for folks who are in the veterinary school, and they're going to use these images to teach vet students about the types of parasites one might find on an animal, hopefully not yourself. We did this with a machine called the Gigamacro that can take tens of thousands of photos of a subject, and then we use software to stitch all those photos together. After that, I went and picked up some rock samples from Anya Fanyan. She is a professor in the Earth Sciences department and is a geologist.
Okay.
We're looking at rocks.
We're looking at rocks. Okay, so the DC1, DC2,
yep,
and SSP3A, and MC1.
Okay, so those, what are we going to do?
So these are the four where you're going to just take images of the flat side anywhere.
Okay.
On the flat side after you wet it down. And then take one picture of any of the surfaces, any of them that look interesting.
Okay.
And I think that's, I'd be happy with whatever you pick.
Perfect.
Okay?
Yep.
And then for these other ones where there's nothing really to look at, just wet the flat sides and take an image of that.
We're going to use that same device, the Gigamacro, to take super close-up photos of these rocks to help teach students about geology. After doing a little bit more scanner testing, it was the end of the day, so I walked across the bridge to grab some stuff from the bookstore, and then it was time to hop on the light rail again and head home. In the evenings, I usually hang out with my partner and, of course, my cat Zoe. We'll do things like watch some TV with dinner, and then sometimes we'll do activities together like go to the rock climbing gym. And then on my own, I also like to do things like sewing, cross stitch, all sorts knitting, all sorts of crafty stuff. And of course, play some Parkitect or Stardew Valley once in a while. And that is what it's really like to be an archaeologist. Thanks for watching. Bye.